But coming up this Friday night at Phileas Fogg is fight night number 1. It's a white-collar boxing match that features not boxers, but real estate agents. And joining us here in the studio are two fighters that are going to be competing, Jimmy and Dominic from OnlyComms. I've got to be honest, guys, you don't look like boxers, but here you are. You're going to be taking on, what is the situation? It's a bunch of real estate agents that are going to be fighting on Friday night.
So Jimmy and myself, we're actually going to be promoting it. So we're not going to be fighting on this one.
Oh, you're not fighting?
No.
So it's our smart ones.
Unfortunately not yet.
I'm actually a fighter anyway, but
are?
I just somehow don't look like one, but
okay.
cheers for that. So Jimmy and I are going to be putting on the show along with the OnlyComms guys. So OnlyComms is 4 of us. Started off as a little meme page, and we just said, let's make it into a brand.
So let me get this straight. So we know how competitive the real estate market is right now in Dubai, and you thought you got a bit of a sense of humour. Let's start an Instagram account with some memes about real estate.
Well, yeah, because like pretty much every brokerage, every friend group, male or female, they have group chats, right? And we had a really big one of pretty much all real estate brokers, originally from the same company, and then you spat.
Was that just a whole bunch of alpha males trying to flex each other all the time?
That's exactly what
it was. Yeah,
I mean,
pretty much.
I've been 3 years in the industry, and I mean, I've worked for a couple of different agencies, and you always seem to hear the same things going on. The competition is key, but it's also like a lot of things that it's the banter side of things that we want to bring out on people.
Yeah, and it was like the gossip side of it. So any bit of news happened, jokes would be made in the group chat and memes would be made. A few of us that just enjoy making them. Yeah. And then we were like, we're just sending this into the group, and they start getting sent out everywhere around Dubai, and we're like, we're not getting credit for this. So we said, no, now let's put a brand to it, and that's how OnlyComp started.
So then how does it go from an Instagram account into being a white-collar boxing night?
Well, I guess, we got teased about it all the time on the DMs and, people wanting to see this. It's a very competitive market. So there's a lot of things that go on in the market where people are taking deals from one another and stuff like that, and it gets very competitive. Sorry, I should say. And yeah, like it's now a platform that people can take it out on.
Well, Neil, Neil's a strength and conditioning coach, and he's done a lot of work with the UAE cricket side. How much training would you generally need to do when you're getting ready for a boxing fight?
It depends on if you want to hit or want to get hit. If you want to get hit, no training is required. Just get yourself into the ring and you'll be done with.
See, I like getting hit. Dom doesn't like getting hit.
Yeah. I move around like several people that I spar with regularly hate sparring with me. Yeah. Not because I'm necessarily any good. I just don't like getting hit, so I move.
You keep moving, yeah.
I just move my feet a lot.
No, in fact, there was this one of my mates. When we were studying strength and conditioning, he was a boxer, and I got to train a lot alongside him. And the kind of trainings that he underwent as a boxer, he would talk to me about it because my specialty was cricket. It's immense, the kind of training that you require as a boxer, and I'm sure you've been in the ring, you know it. It is way beyond what they think of just strength. But a lot of endurance is required too while you're in the ring. Those 2 minutes, 3 minutes that you're in the ring is not just 3 minutes on the clock. It's every second that matters. But tell me something. I have been watching a lot of Selling Sunset, right? That show is, I don't know how real is that show, but one thing I know that real estate people in real estate drive the most fanciest cars, wear the biggest brands, and while they want to talk as mates, they talk a lot bad behind each other. How true is it in this market as well? And this is like I always wanted to ask this question to people who are working in this market.
I mean, 3 years in the market, it's very competitive. Yeah. I mean, there's so much things going on that the limelight doesn't see, and there's so many reality shows. There's a new obviously show coming up about Dubai, and some of it is very true, and some of it it's not even made for TV. Some of it you couldn't make up, to be honest.
No, I can totally imagine, considering the fact that a lot that we see in reality shows is planned, cooked, structured. This is going to be real when you go into the boxing ring, because you can't really plan a fight, can you?
No, exactly. And well, look, like you said, strength, conditioning, these are the biggest parts of it. And the worst thing you can have in boxing, which is the most prevalent in real estate, is ego.
True.
And you've seen it in the training. We've had guys drop out, some through injury, air quotes.
Everyone wants to be a boxer until it's time to be a boxer, right? Everyone wants to be a real estate agent before Darren Elliott quote.
Yeah. Well, but even before the big match, now it's on Friday nights at Phileas Fogg at Emirates Hills. But you're actually, this is quite official. There's the weigh-in kind of press conference, the trash talking. Now this is tomorrow night.
It's tomorrow night. Yeah. It was all starting. The trash talking. At the end of the day, what we didn't want to do is create false narratives, but the guys have just done that themselves, and we kind of knew that, look, there is a bit of ego, there's a bit of past between some of the fighters, and we were like, well, let's make this live, let's turn it into a press conference and weigh in on the Tuesday before. So tomorrow night at Phileas Fogg from 7 p.m, free to enter, come on down.
It's going to be
this is amazing.
Yeah, this is the real deal. How many fights are going to be on Friday night?
9 fights.
And 3 rounds each?
How many fights are going to be in the ring? 9 fights.
Yeah. And 3 rounds each?
3 2-minute rounds. So it's going to be the white collar standard.
Okay.
And because, like I said, most of the guys, they haven't. They all come from different athletics. We've got a couple Aussie guys. One's a Aussie football player or a rugby player. The other one's a gymnast. So.
Wow.
And then like footballers, we've got a couple people that got boxers, we've got wrestlers, we've got like all different types of athletic backgrounds
and nationalities as well, right?
Yeah.
Dubai is a massive thing in terms of there's a lot of culture here, and obviously a lot of our fighters come from different places. And again, 12 agencies competing. It's one of the most talked things in real estate at the moment.
This is really amazing, because a while back we were watching influencers coming into the ring and trying to fight, and it looked shabby. I mean, both of us, we love our sport really, really much. Yeah. But then when we watched those videos, we were like, no, please don't waste our time. Because their training was fluff. I will use real words. The training was fluff because the way they were punching each other, trying to punch was.
Pitter patter.
I mean, it come on, we know you're influencers. You make the millions because you have a million followers. You're not going to spoil your face because of a funny boxing match.
As Dom said, it's like false narratives in the influencer market. They're creating false beefs between people. These are real working everyday people, right? They compete against each other on a day-to-day basis. And a lot of them have a lot of anger and stress to get out. And again, for this is sort of creating an environment where they can have the upper hand on their opponent or their company, their competition. So I think it was a great platform. I mean, everyone I've spoken to has obviously said it's a great idea, what the industry needed, and we're looking forward to it.
Well, it's a great event on Friday night, as we said. It's at Emirates Hills Phileas Fogg. It's Fight Night 1 for White Collar Boxing Match. If you do want to get tickets, the website is opmtickets.com. But also the other part is if you're looking for an agent to take you through a place on Friday or Saturday morning, better not do it this week. Is there anyone who's going to be working to try and...
us. We're going to be working.
You're still going to be working Saturday morning if I want to go see a property?
Yeah, it's non-stop right now. So we'll have some... We'll make sure some of the people, the ones who aren't going to come, they'll be working, but they'll be very miserable at the viewing.
Give me a call, I'll be there.
Look, it's going to be fun. It's all the real estate agents. You said how many? 9 different brokerages taking part?
12 brokerages, so it's 9 fights. Some
9
brokerages
fights.
have got different. I've got a couple fighters from that brokerage.
Okay.
And we've had to split them into groups. So, but it's all in the same gym. And what you mentioned earlier about the punches not being right, they've been put through their pace. They're training at Box IQ and Al Qu's, and honestly, in my opinion, I've been at a lot of boxing gyms. The best boxing gym I've ever been at. Shout out Joe and Shane. They just had USIC do their training camp.
Right.
So that's what I mean. So our white collar class would finish, and then Alexander Usyk would come in to train for his rematch of AJ, but he'd have to sit and wait around until our guys would finish. So that just puts into perspective of the type of training these guys are getting for this fight camp.
I'm really, really glad something like this is coming up, because otherwise, for all the corporates and the white collar workers, it would normally be those boring corporate games where you're doing tug of wars, or probably throwing the ring in the bottle.
Tug of war, football, as much as I love cricket, it's not really uniting the market under one roof as boxing does. It's a very exciting one-on-one sport that you don't see very often.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
It's always a big event.
Well, if you want to get down there, as we said, it's tomorrow night is the weigh-in and the press conference where the trash talk is going to be happening. Emirates Hills Phileas Fogg, and then tickets are still available for Friday night. opmtickets.com. For more information on OnlyComms, you can find the account at OnlyComms. To Jimmy and Dominic, thank you very much for coming in, and good luck for Friday night.
Thanks for having us, guys. Thank you.